So welcome to my art chat. Sorry about the light. I have a southern facing window here. I'm going to try out Zoom just to see if I can get a more cohesive quality. Facebook tends to pixelate my videos. The webcam on my laptop isn't the best in the world, but I hope it will do for now. I'm going to continue on the one I started last time, just playing around with some watercolor and talking about whatever. So if you have anything you want to say, anything at all, or any questions, just ask. I'll do my best to keep an eye on the comments or the chat box in this case. If you're watching the replay on YouTube or Facebook, thanks for watching and join me next Tuesday. I'd love to see you there live. Now I'm just going to try to direct this at the paper. I wish I could use my video camera for this because it's so much better. But it won't connect as a webcam, so I can't see. There you can see the paper. And now we'll see what we can do. I have my trusty, very dirty watercolor palette. And I also have watercolor pencils. So we'll see what I come up with today. I got an idea for a blog post that I'm going to post, I think it's on Wednesday, about being yourself. There is so much pressure from experts, really. Business experts, other kinds of experts, that whether you're looking for a job or you're trying to build a business or making connections for something, they think you need to change who you are. That's not right in my book. You shouldn't have to change who you are to make connections. It's a stupid thing to do, really. I think it's best in the long run just to be who you are, be yourself. Most people come to an understanding when they get a little bit older that I don't give a shit about what people think about me. I'm going to be myself. And I hope to inspire some of you to actually do it sooner rather than later, because it feels a lot better just to be you. Do what you do what you love, and if you're someone who swears, then swear. If you're someone who dresses in sequins, then do that. It's really up to you. Of course, there are dress codes at some businesses where you might work, but in your own time, you should be whoever you want to be. Do whatever you want to do, and just be yourself. I have been told so many times by business coaches and other people, oh, you shouldn't say you do that. You shouldn't tell people about your spirituality because you might scare them off. Well, there's a problem with that. First of all, if they can't take who I am spiritually, I doubt I'll be able to handle them as customers or clients. It would be intensely frustrating to have clients who maybe are afraid of people with your spirituality or think you're going to hell and try to influence you and what you should believe in. So I think it's better just be you. Just be you. And everything will work itself out. Might sound a bit woo-woo, but I'm about as woo-woo as you get. I believe things will work themselves out. You will find those amazing people that you love to hang around with or work with. So it's don't be afraid to show who you are. I might actually include this video in the blog post. We'll see. Other subjects. My daughter turned 9 on Sunday, so I have a lot of cake. If you want a piece of cake, come here and have a piece of cake. I'm afraid I'm going to have to throw it out. If you're local or if you happen to be in this area, for Pete's sake, come and have a piece of cake. I'm usually one to try to be environmentally friendly, but when it comes to a birthday party with 11 girls, I am not going to stand and hand wash 22 plates. It's not happening. So we used paper plates. That's the way it is. You make some changes to make it work with your energy levels and your body. I'm not going to hand wash anything unless I have to, because it's murder on the back. Looks like it's going to be an interesting tree. I don't know if you can see that. There. That color blob is turning into an interesting tree. Should have had my pencil sharpener. Fortunately, I can reach it. That's another thing I've been preaching about. If you're having problems finding time to be creative, don't keep your stuff in a drawer or a cupboard or in the loft or something like that. Keep them where you can reach them. How else are you going to find the time in between everything else if you can't reach your stuff? You don't have to have everything out, but just the things that you're working on at the moment. And it's a lot easier to find those 5 minutes, make use of them, than to have to go and bring everything out and set everything up, clear a table, and by the time you're done, your 5 minutes are up. The time you had to do what you wanted to do is gone. So I think it's a lot better to just have things available. There are ways to do that and still have it organized. You don't have to be a slob just because your stuff is out in the open. I have a lot of advice on how or tips for organization of art and craft supplies on my Pinterest. I have a Pinterest board for that. So it's definitely possible to do it without keeping it in a pile. I'm not the most organized person in the world. I'm not even going to pretend that I am. I don't like pretend anyway. I don't like to pretend I'm not something I'm not, which goes back to the thing I was talking about previously. So it's I'm a messy person. I don't let it get disgusting, but it's definitely not super organized here. That's just the way it is. It doesn't help that the rest of the family isn't organized either. Very hard to keep things in their place. But you live with it and you adjust. And one plus of not being a neat freak is that I'm not afraid to make a mess. I'm not afraid to throw out a sheet of plastic and throw paint around. You can be smart about it. You don't have to do it on the floor. You can actually cover the floor with something. So it's when you're not afraid to make a mess, you can do a lot of fun stuff. I might actually do a webinar later this year, but I don't know about what. Maybe I should do it on making a mess. Make you make a mess. We'll see. I'm open for ideas if you have any. If you have any ideas on what I should do a webinar or workshop on, let me know. See, still just me here, so I'm just going to ramble on. Thought I'd stick around for another 10 minutes or so. Make some more trees and bushes and see what happens with this. Is it a drawing or painting? If you use watercolor and watercolor pencils, is it a drawing or a painting? It's sort of like what came first, the hen or the egg? I'm just having fun with this. It's not, I haven't planned to use it for anything in particular. It's just a fun project. If it turns out nice, I might put it in the web shop. After I've done the drawing, I am going to wet it down. I can show you what happens when you wet watercolor pencils. I can show you on this tree. If we put the tree where you can see it, and when you wet them down, it turns into watercolor paint with just a tad of trace of the lines. So you can use it as pretty much as you want. I think my camera is making things a lot more yellow than it should be. This is spring green, so it's very green. It's not yellow at all. Well, there's some yellow in there, but it's not primarily. It's very green. It's not that yellow you saw there. Just finishing off that tree to have that done. What's next? Maybe some pink flowers. Let's see if I can put them down here. I have a pink spot here. What should I do with them? Snapdragons, maybe? See if we can make some snapdragons out of this. or whatever they turn into. They could be fantasy flowers. Don't have to resemble any existing plant in the world. If it's fun, it's fun. As long as you don't get too caught up in realism, you can have a lot of fun with paint and pencils. I must admit, it's easy for me to get caught up in the details. So that's why I try to go pretty fast, at least when I want it to stay loose like this one. Let's see. I would love to hear what projects you're working on. And I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about fun projects, projects that you do for fun, not because your kid needs a new pair of pants or because your boss told you to. I want to know, what are you doing these days that's just fun? So I think I'm going to leave it at that. And I would like to hear your answer to that question. What are you doing these days that is just for you, just for fun, not anything you plan to sell or any work assignment or any housework assignment, anything like that? What are you doing that's just fun? And if you need a place to share it that isn't judgmental or anything like that, come over to the Creative Explorers and join me there. It's my group on Facebook. And we have a weekly prompt. There are no daily themes, so it's not going to drain you dry. Come on over and we'll have some fun with some creative stuff. This week it's about creating something for your window for the upcoming holiday, whatever you choose to call it. Come on over to the group, join me there, and if you join me next Tuesday, I'd be very grateful. I love to connect to people, and I love to talk, which you might have noticed. Have a great day. Bye-bye.